Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Crazy Chris Talk Show live right here from the KGTR FM 91.9 in Internet radio stations. Hello, hello. Tonight is our 80th episode. Tonight's episode 80-3. Wow, the big 8 and a 0-3. Now, those of you newcomers out here that are just listening to the Crazy Chris Talk Show for the first time, and there's probably several of y'all out there with our ever-growing populated show. Oh, yeah. The 80 shows means we've done 80. This is our 80th show tonight. Crazy Chris Talk Show turns 80. The dash 3 means this is the third series in our relationship program that we've been doing. Also, technically, it is our last series. So 80-3 will take us, dash 3 will make us all the way to our 100th show. So that means there is only 19 shows left after tonight to the end of the Crazy Chris Talk Show goes off forever. Wow. Now, in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to our guest speaker, Miss Sheree Walters. She's here in the house. I'm going to let her say hello to you real quick, and then we'll formally introduce her back.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm here.
There you got it. So let me just do a quick couple announcements here before we get started on the air. Again, tonight is April the 11th, Friday night, 2014. Woo! Welcome back to our all-new Crazy Chris Talk Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're excited because tonight is our 80th episode. Holy shit. Number 80. Crazy Chris Talk Show is now officially a senior citizen. What did you know? We turned 80. I can still remember it yesterday, and I bet Miss Sheree will have something to say about that too. I bet she remembers that first episode we started. She calls it the creepy episode. You know, I don't know why she says it's creepy, but guess what? We decided because this was the 80th show, I'm going to let Miss Sheree explain that to you. You probably already noticed some change, a big change in that show. They didn't, I'm going to let her tell you more about it, but you probably noticed that, well, Miss Sheree, you can probably just say something about it real quick. What is the big change we made tonight because it's our 80th show?
Well, in case y'all haven't already figured it out, there was no music. Remember when Crazy Chris first got started? He didn't have any music except the only music he had was his creepy introductory porn music.
Oh, that hurt.
You come a long way, baby.
So I'm assuming there won't be no music tonight for the after the show program either.
Nope. This is Throwback Friday on the Crazy Chris show.
There you have it. So that's why you haven't did hear no music, no jamming or nothing. I'm kind of missing it, but I'm sure we'll be back again by next week.
Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. So yeah, she's right. The first time with this is we're celebrating 80 shows with remembering and giving tribute to our very first show when Crazy Chris Talk Show came on. We didn't even have a credit yet, opening credit for the Crazy Chris Talk Show. That didn't even happen until like the sixth show. We were just basically just hello. We was on the air. That was it. 1 minute we're playing the song. We didn't have no jokelets. We didn't have no real formal announcement. We was so man. We was more generic than an HEB can of corns. I'm telling you.
No frills.
And I'm gonna tell you really, I'm gonna tell y'all listeners that some of y'all been with us for the entire 80 shows, and some of y'all might even agree on it. Some of y'all were scratching your heads and had doubts that we were even gonna make it this far because the first couple episodes, Winston really wasn't looking so hot. It wasn't. There was nothing really wrong with the episodes. They just were so. I'm not gonna lie. There was nothing in order about them. There was no. There was no formality. There was so generic, and it wasn't really thoroughly planned out. Hell, this is a relationship program, and the first episode out of the bank wasn't even about relationships. Do you remember that, Miss Sheree?
Wasn't it a government conspiracy episode?
It was actually called America the Meltdown.
That's right.
America it had nothing to do with relationships.
Neither did the second one.
Isn't that weird? Here we had started a relationship program, but yet the first two episodes had just mentioned a little bit about relationships, but not a whole lot in general. It was more about, like you say, some of the conspiracy cover-ups with the U.S. government and stuff. And then it jumped into focus because if you remember what we're going to be talking about tonight, what did we talk about in episode 6? And then they wanted another episode 7, and then we brought it back again in episode 8. We had 3 weeks. We had to come in 3 weeks in a row because it was so popular.
Could it be relationship stuff?
It was relationships. It was
Could it be interracial?
You got it. Ding, 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 ding. Our very first hot subject matter that we talked about was interracial relationships. And that's back in the days when we did black on white, white on black. And it was a hit. It was a success. And then we had you come the first time on the show to do the first one of the interracials. I think it was the third, the last series of that for the first part, wasn't it?
Because you saved the best for last.
Is that what it is?
That's what it was.
Oh, hell, I didn't even formally introduce you. You know what? Let me just go ahead and introduce you because, it's hard to keep a good girl's mouth shut. You know, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Crazy Chris Talk Show, celebrating 80 shows tonight with my guest speaker and our great, great friend of ours, all of us here at the station, Miss Sheree Walters, everybody from New York.
Yay! I'm here.
We have a lot to talk about tonight, don't we?
Yes,
In
we
such
do.
a short amount of time.
I know. So cut your intro short so we can get started.
Ooh, well, so, well, first I want to ask you is before we get started announcements because I'm fun forget. How was your trip? Did you get barred off the phone plane yet, or you wait until the last episode to come on that?
No, I can't. You know what? I can't get barred off because if I do, how I'm gonna get here? It takes like a couple of days to get here by Amtrak,
Wow.
and takes a couple of days by car. And I don't have one, and I don't think John is gonna pay for my rental.
No.
So I just need to be on my best behavior. But I just think they need to stop sticking me around weird people that have no sense of humor. That's what they need. You know, when you book your airplane tickets
Uh,
online, they should ask, "Do you have a funny bone?" That way, all the people that don't can sit together.
are you saying that the people actually annoyed you,
They're
or
not.
were you annoying them? Tell the truth.
I was
Were you
annoying.
going around with that Maylocks woman stuff?
I was annoying them. You know, I was just trying to be friendly and make chit chat, but they didn't seem to want to be bothered. And then I thought I was being funny, and they would just have that dry look, like they'd have
Did
no
you
sense of
recognize anybody, or do you recognize any of these same people from flying so much here, or you don't never really?
no.
I see everybody
Okay,
do.
some of them are the same people, and those are the ones that look away like they haven't seen me, and I go, "Hey, didn't we see each other on the last flight?" And they hurry up and run away from me. So I'm like, okay, I must have asked them an awkward question or something.
What's the matter? They don't want to sit by you.
No, and you know what? That's fine. Let me have a whole row to myself. But there is
Are we flying you first class, or we flying you coach?
y'all know y'all flying me, coach.
Why, I would know.
Y'all are flying me, coach.
Well, I mean, the last thing I heard, you got a fruit basket. I didn't know about that. Remember, we had a discussion about fruit basket.
Oh, that's so true. Remind me to pick up some Cool Whip to go with my fruit basket.
That's some Cool Whip.
Yes.
What you gonna do with that?
Dip the cantaloupe in the Cool Whip.
Is that sure that's the only thing you're gonna be dipping when you get back?
Oh, crazy Chris, he's so nasty.
I'm not nasty.
I'm not the one eating the evidence.
Well, who is?
Nanya.
Oh shucks! Looks like someone got a booty call with the Cool Whip going back to her hotel room tonight.
See you later, Tim.
Oh shit! And by the way, why you say that? Are you giving him a goodbye present? This is Tim's last night here with us on the air.
I will not kiss and tell.
Oh my gosh, are you going to give it up to
But
Tim?
I feel so honored that he wanted to be here with me before he left.
Well, the rumor has it. Rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it. You're not the only woman he was trying to pick up before this all went down. We'll just leave that there like that.
But I was his first.
He had a crush on some other women, trust
But
me.
I was his first. Wink, wink.
That's what you think.
What?
Yeah, maybe he'll tell you about that.
Go ahead, player.
Oh, shit.
I ain't mad at you.
Well, I tell you, it can take much to get this chocolate white thing going on here tonight. And that's just a coincidence what we're talking about. Mystery, why don't you tell them what we're going to be talking about today for our 80th episode?
We're talking about interracial relationships.
Y'all's favorite out there. This was one of the ones that scored the highest on our, believe it or not, it scored very high on our listeners' format.
Yes, and I think the reason why it scores so high is because it's like, okay, now you got Kim and Kanye. You got that show Scandal. I mean, interracial dating is everywhere.
So
you got those doctors on Grey's Anatomy.
So you think it's public awareness since it's bringing it more out?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, hold your thought on that, so we don't. Because let me finish the announcements real quick, and then we can jump right on into that. So then again, there you go, folks. Miss Sheree Walters is here, all the way from New York. She's here for one of her last couple shows with us. There's not so many shows Miss Sheree's going to be doing with us, so y'all need to enjoy these last few. There's only technically there's 19 shows after tonight. We're in the teens now. We're not even in the 20s and 30s. No, we're in the teens, 19, and we're 9 shows away from being in the single digits. Back down to the last 10 shows. For what I know is Miss Sheree is only going to be here 3 more times. And that does not include, I don't think includes the Rapapalooza. There's another Rapapalooza that they still want us to do before it's all over with. And so we'll be bringing that out shortly in the summer for you. Just before Crazy Chris goes on his trip, his family medical trip that he's got to make. I'm thinking they're going to be doing Rapapalooza then. We'll be doing that just before I leave. And then when I come back, there's only, I think, scheduled 4 shows left, and your schedule come on the last one. So, it's gonna be sad. I don't know if it's gonna be more sad for you, Miss Sheree, not coming to get to do a show with us or not getting them damn fruit baskets no more.
It's kind of a toss up. But between you and me, I think John is going to miss the frequent flyer mile.
Is that what he's getting racking up on his credit card?
Yep.
Shit, I can only imagine the kind of money he spends on your tickets all year round.
If he says he's going to Hawaii, don't be surprised.
Oh shit, he need to be taking some of us and treating us to go somewhere.
Oh, like a retreat.
Yeah, he owes it to us. Shit. But so there you have it, folks. Yeah, Tim, congratulations on your new position in Oklahoma City. We will be missing you. You've been a great asset, keeping the station running through the wee hours of the morning. Hoping that's not going to put more focus on me having to come and do some more extra work up here now. It's bad enough I already got to do talk shows. Now I might have to start doing DJing because they ain't going to have nobody here to, you know, do it.
You want to fly me in?
You're not going to want to fly in all the time for that.
I'm not paying for it.
Oh, shit. Well, the thing is, I don't know if you heard, they got a new guy named Justin. There's a mystery guy named Justin. Now, that's all I know.
As in, just in, we got a new hire called Justin.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Justin.
I'm kind of quick like that.
Oh, you're fast. We know.
Not that kind of fast.
Yeah. So, so yeah, we're supposed to have a replacement until the end of the transition. The sale goes through with the station. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, Tim, thank you very much. You've been an inspiration. Good luck, guy, on your. Oh shit! I hope I fall asleep on the show.
Oh, please do, so I can splash some water on you.
Well, no, it's been so long since I fell asleep. I can't remember the last time I did that on a show. So.
Really?
Yeah, really, I've been really good about it.
Okay.
So, anyways, I told y'all guys I could put one on Mystery any day.
Not, because I know. I just don't want to put you out on Front Street like that.
Okay. So, anyways, Tim, take care. Have a good time up in Oklahoma City. Wish you the best. Drop us a line from down there. Let us know how you're doing. And hey, maybe one day Chris come up there and be a special guest star with Miss Sheree, huh? Would you like to go up to Oklahoma City rail station one day and go visit him there?
Sure, why not?
Be a guest speaker. You can talk about your fruit baskets with him.
I was going to ask if he's going to have a fruit basket ready for me.
I don't think you're going to get the same treatment with that. There's a whole different rail station. I don't think they're going to be wanting to give you no damn fruit baskets, Miss Sheree. I don't know how the hell you got started with that on this end.
I'll never tell.
Somebody got the banana blown.
It's about class, not ass.
Oh, I love that. You just really on your toes tonight. Damn, Miss Sheree.
I stole that one from that guy on USA, but I love that.
Oh my God. So there you have it. Tim is leaving. Oh shit. Okay, bear with me.
Really?
We have Crying, Loving, Leaving. That'll be starting here soon. Miss Sheree, be nice.
I'm not going to say a word. My laugh said it all.
Whoa. We're just running slightly behind.
Slightly.
Yes.
Wasn't it supposed to start in February? I would say that you're officially delayed.
That's not mine. That's production team behind. We are actually too busy right now working on Life Beats with Crazy Chris. We're going into the field. You should be proud of that. I got to get in the field and be in that heat. That's hard work, Miss Sheree. Probably that's something you don't probably have to do in your job. I bet you sit in a chair all day in the office.
Yes, I do.
How would you
Under
like
under AC.
exactly. So how would you like to be on the street where it's hot and talking to strangers you don't know and hope to God that they're not going to flip out on you or get robbed or hurt? This is real life stories, you know.
Are you gonna carry some mace?
No.
How you gonna protect yourself?
Our first episode is homeless people. What the hell? We're gonna base the homeless people?
Some of them are violent.
Yes, they are.
So how are you gonna protect yourself?
With a water burger.
A what? A burger?
Yes, a burger.
A burger. You
Yes.
gonna give a homeless man a burger? He don't want a burger. He want a house.
Well, I ain't got that for. We gonna get a fucking burger and be happy with it.
How much would y'all pay me to do this?
You got to talk to John.
No, y'all don't want me to do it, cause then I might be crying with them because some of these people that are homeless, they had real good jobs and an economy tanked,
Yes.
and is they got everything taken away from them. So there's some. You're gonna have a good show because there's some. They got some good heartfelt stories to
Yeah,
tell.
we're geared up
Because
to talk to this one particular man, Mystery,
uh-huh.
and he's an older black gentleman that's been on the streets, and he's gonna be doing the show with us, and you're gonna hear his story. He's been on the street for a little over 18 years,
Poor guy.
and something that the station wants to do is out of participation for him doing the show.
Mhm.
Of course, they're gonna give him a little money.
Yes.
Because
Because
I'll be taking him to lunch today. He'll be having lunch. I can imagine how many people are going to be looking at us.
well, you got to bring this to.
He has this big old shopping cart he pushes around that he had took from one of the grocery stores, and he told me that everything in that shopping cart is his entire life that he carries around. His clothes, extra shoes. He finds stuff that's valuable through the trash sites where people throw out, and that's how he gets his stuff that he needs. I asked him, and I don't want to spoil because this is the show we're supposed to actually go into full film with him here.
Mhm.
Got an appointment set with him, but he is going to explain how he has to go through the trash can, and then he eats like the ends of the people throw their chicken away and stuff. You know, he'll eat that because the meat's going to be. He'll catch it the same day so he don't get sick. He says he's had drinking. People throw their ice that they're done with their drinks that he want. What he'll do, he'll stand out there, and people are done when they come out of the restaurant. They'll throw it away because they're done with the drink, but it still has the ice in it. He can go and take the tops off, and he'll go rinse the cup out inside the building, and then he can get ice water.
Mhm.
You know, because he said they can't just order you. You got to pay for the cup. They don't just give you cups anymore.
Yeah.
So he says you have to think constructively. He was telling me he says he'll take me to where he lays and sleeps, and he said sometimes it's dangerous, but he's 50. I think he's 59 or 60, early 60s. He's been on the streets for 18 years. He said he was abandoned by his family, his two sons. It's really sad, and he said he used to work. He had it really going, and he's gonna. I don't want to share what happened, but you're right. They find themselves. Any one of us. I know a lot of people don't think it can happen, but this could happen to anybody in America.
It is by the grace of God that none of us is in that situation. And when you see a homeless person, that is what you need to think about. That is by the grace of God that is not you. And yes, some of them do get a bad rap, and you want to cross the street or just look at them. They don't want your pity. That I do know from when with my church we would go out and hand out little bags with Bibles and snacks and coupons to restaurants so they could get a free meal to the homeless. And they'll tell you they don't want your pity. They don't want to see that look in your eye.
No, you're right. And the good thing is about this, like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but this is a good little. This is kind of like a little preview. Anyway, we're gonna talk about this with them real quick, so that they have an idea what the Crazy Chris Life Piece is like. This is gonna be an awesome show, Mystery. It really is gonna be great, and we're filming it, so which means we're gonna broadcast it on the radio.
So I'm gonna have to sign up for that YouTube.
You're gonna have to sign up for YouTube because you're gonna want to see the video of it as well, not just.
I haven't signed up because I just didn't want another password.
but you're gonna want to see it, okay?
Okay.
Because it's gonna be powerful. We're gonna be walking the streets with him by his side for a whole day. And get this, he told us he hasn't had a shave or a haircut in almost 10 years, and we're gonna pay for him that day to clean him up and get him some clean clothes. We're gonna take him to Goodwill, give him some clothes, stuff, decent clothes. We want to take him to the barber shop. And thanks to KGTR, they're gonna do all this. They're gonna fund this, and they want to. We're gonna. I'm authorized to go ahead and see. And he said he would love that. He said he would do it. We're gonna have him shave and take all this matted beard off.
Mhm.
Have his hair cut. I bet we're all gonna get to see what it looks like before almost on the street. We're gonna clean him up, and we're gonna try to help him get back on his feet. So you might see us come back and do a second show, but the guy just when I told him that he said I would be so happy to get a haircut and a shave. So we want to take all that off. Imagine how he's going to look,
He, he
and give
probably
him a bath.
he'll probably be in shock himself just by that. Because think about it, he's been in the street that long and he hasn't had a good shave or anything. So I think this is good that what you guys are doing, and I think it's going to be a good, you know, a
But
good show.
but what we found out is get this. This is what amazes us. It's not that he don't want to work. He said nobody wants to hire him like that. So we're thinking if we help him get a haircut, we help him get a shave, we give him some better clothes that ain't all stained up, he can walk in and become, clean up people's parking lot, whatever job they could give him. Be a cart pusher because he said he's willing to work. We're hoping he can walk in and get a job. They'll see him and he'll be clean up enough to get a job. Wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
We want to try to help at least one person get off the streets. That's the whole inspiration of being Life Beats.
That would be awesome, and it'll give him hope.
And the guy was so thankful, and I told him. He said when I talked to him already, got this pre set up, so we're going to be filming next week. The guy looked at me. He said, "Please," he said, "tell me this is not a fantasy. Please tell me you'll be back." I said, "If I can find you, and I know where he's at, usually hangs around the Waterburger, and I go there. Like I told him, I'll find you between the grocery store and there." I said, "When I see you, I said, you'll remember me, and we'll take care of you. We'll get you fed. We'll get you through this." So this is gonna be an awesome, powerful show. You're not going to want to miss this. We will broadcast it first on KGTR, and then about 2 weeks after we broadcast it, y'all can catch the whole video and audio exclusively on YouTube. You're not going to want to miss this, and this is going to be an awesome, powerful documentary of the Crazy Chris Talk Show documentary. You're going to love it. You're going to see everything with your own eyes. You're going to see the interviews, the talks, everything going on between me and him, and it's going to be awesome. I hope you look forward to it, too.
I am looking forward to it. I can't wait. It sounds like a great show.
So Crazy Chris Life Beats. There's going to be a 5-part to this. The first one is America, the homeless on the streets with Crazy Chris. And then the next one, we're already getting pretty set up. Crazy Chris gets to ride around in a squad car for the day to see what it's like to be a police officer. I hope they don't get me killed in no high speed chases. Y'all gonna see all this. Get to talk to the police chief. They're gonna show us what the jail looks like. What happens when you get processed in your local county jail. We're gonna learn about what they're doing to try to prevent crime on the streets, and that not all cops are crooked. That there are some cops that they're trying to do best. And hopefully I get my speeding ticket paid up before I get up there because it's something that lapses. It'll be like, hey, well, shit, because they're probably gonna run my name while I'm there. That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, get that ticket handle, or you don't know the process for real.
And get this, we're scheduled to do 3 different counties.
Wow.
We're going to be doing Bell County, McClendon County, and Travis County. So Austin, Waco, and the Killeen District. We're going to get to see the difference between all 3 of the counties, the tri-counties, and we're going to see how they do things. Isn't that going to be great?
That will be great.
So you don't want to miss that. That's episode 2, and I don't really know what 3, 4, or 5 would be, but it'll be one show a month for 5 episodes in a row, and that will take us right to the end before the sales station is completed. What do you think about that? That's going to be a great show.
I think it will be great. I think y'all got some good ideas.
And rumor has it that if the shows are that good, they might even try to sell them to another documentary place like National Geographic, somebody that would be interested in having it, and will sell the rights to that, and they can have those shows as well.
Oh, nice.
Put some money in Crazy Chris' pocket if it becomes really, really good. Or winds up on IFC independent film channels. We'll see what happens.
Always the entrepreneur.
I know it. Crazy Chris got to do something. I'm fixing to be retired here. I'm fixing to lose my job. Crazy Chris Talk Show is going off the air, girl. 80 episodes. What do you got to say about that real quick before we get started? 80.
Wow. I can honestly say I never saw it coming.
Did you agree with me when I said that the first few episodes were kind of questionable? You was there for all episodes, weren't you?
They were very questionable because at one point in time I was questioning myself on why I was listening. I'm like, this is just creepy weird.
Tell the truth. Did you listen to every episode, or did you get bored of it at the first ones and said this is and shut it off? Tell the truth. Because we had a hard time getting a lot of people to listen at first.
I listened to all of them because they were interesting topics. It was just different hearing them, you speak about them. The meltdown of America, and then to see the stuff happening, a little weird.
Like Crazy Chris was on his game, wasn't he?
Yes.
And see, so there was some more.
The Lubies one was very weird because you're listening to the people talking and stuff that was there.
Consider that they left that part of the audio track from those interviews still stuck in the sector. And y'all, you were saying you was at work one day and it just, come on, we're sorry, folks. We didn't know that it was stuck in there for a while like that, which made it even creepier, didn't it?
Yes, it did, because I'd be jamming, and then all of a sudden you hear that lady speaking at Lubies, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, they forgot that somehow the system didn't realize that part of the program track that they had tried to from the re-airing of it, and it got looped back in there, and it was kind of creeping people out with the music and the interviews that we had with those people. Yeah. So anyhow, I really don't have much more announcements on the Crime Loving Leaving is delayed again because of the Life Beats with Crazy Chris. So I don't know if they told you that, but we have one more new commercial that you got to help us for the summer commercial. They want this. It's KGTR's new theme is summer surfing with us. So it's gonna have something to do with the Beach Boys and all that. So I hope you get ready to put on your. I don't know if you New Yorkers know anything about beach wear unless. Well, I guess yeah.
Yes, we go to the beach. We got a lot of beaches.
Yeah, what beach y'all got in New York?
We got Far Rockaway. We got Jones Beach. We got the Jersey
beaches.
Shore.
Oh yeah, the Jerseys love y'all. The Jerseys love y'all coming over to their shore. Let's not go to Atlantic City, shit. Let's go to the Jersey Shore. Fuck these New Yorkers. Yeah. So they love that, huh? Y'all can't stand New Jersey, but y'all sure love going to their beaches.
And let's just say they're not going to turn away our money.
Well, no, of course not. They do got some hell of good casinos in Atlantic City.
Yeah, they do.
And most of them are New Yorkers, ain't they? New Jersey's are broke. They ain't up in there playing no game casinos. So, okay, Miss Sheree, I think we should just go ahead and get started. That's enough announcements. Is there anything that you can think of that I might have forgot?
No, let's get started. Let's get it started.
Got your own music going on.
I told you, I have my own theme music.
All right, so there you have it. Those of y'all just joined in, you just missed the beautiful announcements that we had. You're just joined in. This is the 80th episode. 80-3, Crazy Chris Talk Show turned 80. Come celebrate with us tonight. Tonight's show is Interracial, A Deeper Look Within. That's that's the title. Interracial Relationships, A Deeper Look Within. This is our finale for the interracial relationships topics as far as for this goes, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is the last time we're going to be talking about interracial relationships. This is the what they call the icing on top now, the end of the finale of it.
The season finale.
The season finale of interracial relationships.
Or the series finale.
Well, it's actually a series finale for that topic.
For that topic.
And, we do have 19 more shows left after tonight. We won't be talking about interracial relationships no more after tonight. So this was we said there would be one for each series. When we talk about it, this was the time for series 3. With that being said, so welcome to the Crazy Chris Talk Show. Then of course we also have the Crazy Chris After the Show tonight, do we not?
Yes, we do.
So y'all don't want to turn your players off once we go off the air. We want to keep it on and listen to. I was told you got a song tonight that you're putting out to somebody.
Yes.
Or I don't know if you put it out to somebody, but they said you have one that you want to play.
Putting it out to Tim.
Whoa.
It's his last hurrah.
Okay, there you have it, Tim. You got a personal request coming out tonight. And then the other 4 songs behind will be from mine, so that special person out there in my life. And then we'll be back on the air live again for the Crazy Chris after the show when the lights go down. Okay, so here you have it. April 11th, Friday night, 2014 Interracial Relationships, Digging In Deeper, with episode 80-3. Oh, Miss Sheree. So let's go ahead, let's jump right on into this. Let's jump in this hot and heavy. Um, because time goes so quick. So, the last time we talked about interracial relationships, we were talking about white on black and black on white. We talked about the history of how how the black people or the African Americans came into the country, how they got established, which was through slave trade, and we talked about uh, back in the days when slavery was in full effect. We know that there was a lot of stuff going on with the owners or the masters of these slaves, and they were fooling around with some of their house workers and stuff, and in lieu of that, some got pregnant, some had offspring, some were able to keep them, some got killed. We know there's a lot of tragedy going on in the making of this. We know that interracial started way back amongst slavery days, and over the years it has progressed, where it has become more and more acceptable, even through the pre-1964 Civil Rights Act laws. People were still on the low or on the down low with it, and it's just now today where it has exploded into phenomenal numbers to the point that uh, the black and the white integrated and uh, mixed and making offsprings is the greatest number than any other two races combined that is known today. That's pretty impressive if you look at the total numbers of two sectors. So, I mean, and, when you got to compare whites with Hispanics, or blacks with Hispanics, or Asians with whites, or any other combination, the highest number, the most popular, the highest number is white with black. Isn't that something?
Yes, it is, and that's still the one that's also getting the most flack is the white and the black.
It's to me, it's the most prejudiced sector yet, isn't it?
Yes, it is because a lot of people remember how it was during the slave days, and that's how they see it. They don't see a black and white couple on equal ground. They see it, oh look, the white man just want to have another slave. That's all she is a his bed wench.
Mm-hmm.
And so that stigma is on there. But you know, I mean, you got, like I said earlier, you got TV shows, you got movie stars, but the stigma is still there when it comes to the black and white relationships. But the thing that I don't understand is you see a black basketball star with a white woman, and you don't hear that much flack. But you see a black woman with a white man, then you hear all of this from the black men in the black community.
Yeah, it seems to be more acceptable only one way, isn't it?
Yes, and that's not
And
fair.
why is it? Do you know why it's like that? I mean, is this predominantly being forced fed behind the black community, or is it the white community that's making a big impression with this?
I think it's a little bit on both sides because with me, when I see a black man with a white woman, the first thing I think of is not, oh my gosh, I can't believe, that he's with a white woman. My first thought is, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's with that white woman. Because
at least you're honest.
I'm honest because okay, when I look at the woman that he's with,
But do you say that with everyone that you see?
no.
Oh,
Okay, if it no, because my thing is
tell the
you
difference
have
between why you have to say that.
I was getting there.
Oh, excuse me.
My thing is when you see a black guy with a heavy set white woman, he won't date a heavy set black woman, but he'll date a heavy set white woman. And when you ask him about it, his reason is, "Oh, I don't like dating black women. They're too mouthy." Really?
Mm.
That's your excuse. But you see a basketball star with a white woman. First of all, she's gonna be your token white woman. She's gonna look like a model or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they got an image to protect.
Right.
And but the black men get upset if they see a professional. black woman who's, is in a suit getting her work on, and she's dating a white guy, they go, oh, all of a sudden the brother's not good enough for her. Well, it goes back to when you was with that same black woman who didn't want to date outside of her race, but you felt that every time she used the big words, or she made more money than you, she was making you look bad in front of your friends. So you can't have it both ways.
So why do you think there's so many black men have problem with black women crossing over to a different to the other race, and and that you have more white people that really don't give a damn. They couldn't care less. White men don't make a big moderation when they say white with a black man. It's like, okay, big deal. But then when a black man sees a black sister with the white guy, he's having a coronary. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's not. He's not like you say. He is having a connection.
Well, okay.
Is it lack of insecurity or something?
No. Well, first of all, there are some white men that do have a problem with women dating a black man, especially if it's a white father and his daughter is dating a black dude. There's gonna be a problem.
Well, not in every case.
Not in every case, but depending on the type of man he is and what type of background he comes from, there can be an issue.
But that could be on either side.
And he will threaten, probably try to beat up. It happens. But the first thing you hear though is, if you black, why aren't you with a black man? Do you not have love for your race? First of all, it's not about that. Race has no color. You can't help who you're attracted to, and it shouldn't matter what color that person is. I don't specifically go out looking to date outside my race. I'm looking for a person that has a sense of humor, that loves God, and that is going to treat me well, has a job, his own place, and a car. That is my resume for looking for a man.
Well, like we know that you recently have become single.
Yep.
And you was with black men all your life. You stayed with your own kind.
Yep.
And then you got involved with the white man for the first time.
Yep.
And now he's been kicked to the curb.
Yep.
And now you're back to being single again.
Yep.
What's your next plan? Are you gonna throw a loop on everybody and go with Hispanic? Are you gonna go with the Chinese? Are you gonna go back to black men? What is going on in the world of Miss Sheree when she sees herself? Where does Miss Sheree see herself culturally with her man? Does she see her back as a black man again? Have you come off of your hiatus about feeling what you went through? Because I know that you explained us why you originally left the black man. You needed a change. You thought you needed a change in culture. And you experienced that, and obviously it wasn't too good for you. But doesn't mean you wrote it off, I'm certain.
No, it wasn't a bad experience. It just wasn't an experience that worked out.
But it had nothing to do with the color issue.
It had nothing to do with color. It was just bad timing on both our parts.
Sound like you need to listen to last week. Timing is everything on our show.
Well, timing is everything. But my thing is, just because you date somebody don't mean that that's the person you're supposed to end up with.
That's true.
Sometimes you got to go through a lot of frogs to meet that prince.
True.
And so for me personally, going forward, I'm still not looking at color. I'm going to be open to whatever's out there. And when the person that I'm interested comes along, and if we have a lot of things in common and we talk and we have fun together, it doesn't matter what color he is. He could be purple, and I would be open to it.
So do you see yourself going back to Marshmallow, or do you see yourself going back to a Mr. Goodbar?
Right now, anything is
a
possible.
Rice Krispie treat or a Mr. Goodbar? What do you see yourself indulging? I mean, I'm not asking you to. I know you can't predict who you're gonna be, but who do you, in your impression? Because I know you're open to both races. You're very equality when it comes.
I'm an equal opportunity dater.
Where do you think your cards will lie next? If you had to guess, or where do you think your stronghold will be? Do you think it's going to be your next man's going to be black? Is he going to be a white guy again, or do you think you're just going to be totally flip the coin on everybody?
Knowing me, I'll probably totally flip the coin on everybody and do something that nobody's ever thought of.
We'll probably next time we see her, she'll be sitting with Big Cheese. Smoking a big old peace pipe out there, and you'll be on the reservation out there in Oklahoma going, hey,
Hey, if he has a good heart and a good mind and he treats me well,
absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to.
He's just a man. He's a human being.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
People need to understand that, right?
Yes, it doesn't matter
Skin
what the
color has no difference.
Just like you shouldn't go out with somebody based on the way they look, because as they get older, looks fail. You got to have a strong foundation. You got to have something that y'all have in common. You know.
So, did you enjoy? Was there a big difference between your black relationships and then this white experience you had? Was there a real big difference between them? Maybe culturally, yes, but based on skin color, obviously there wasn't really a difference, right? I mean,
No,
it didn't feel different. You having sex, it wasn't different
no,
in how you spent time. I mean, or did you see differences?
no. Culturally, there was a difference, but as far as being in a relationship, he was the guy, and he was just to me. I wasn't in a relationship with a white guy. I was in a relationship with a guy, and there was no difference.
Mm-hmm.
This, the sex was the same. Hanging out was the same. Like I said, the cultural differences was, his family was white and mine was black. We ate different kinds of food, but he introduced me to new things. I introduced him to new things. So it was a learning experience on both our parts.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, like I said, you got to look past color, because if you go into a relationship and thinking, oh, I'm going into a relationship with this white guy or this black guy, and it's going to be a totally different relationship, you're going in there with the wrong mindset, because you should be looking past color. You should be asking yourself, does this man treat me good? Does this man respect me? Do we have the same goals? Are we wanting the same things? Those are the kind of questions. And those are the same questions no matter if you're white, black, no, it just doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you just want somebody that's going to treat you right.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it's so generic. It's so basic, but yet people don't get it. They just don't get it.
I think times are changing and people are coming around, but then there's still some people that will never accept that will not want that to happen.
It's getting better, but then there's at times with the stuff that's going on in the world and some of the news articles, you wonder if it's not getting worse.
But I
Some
mean,
people think it's getting worse, or actually.
yeah, like I said, it just depends. Because think about it. Say it's not even about color. Say you're going out with somebody who's Jewish and you're Baptist. Do you really think that Jewish family is going to want you in their family?
No, probably not.
Exactly.
It's usually a problem.
Exactly. So it's not just color lines; it's religious lines.
And I don't understand that because.
And then think about it. Then you got the rich people that don't want their child with somebody that lived across the tracks.
And which is weird though, is because Hitler he tried to kill all the blacks and Jews.
Yep.
But yet black people and Jews don't are pretty against each other. Yet when they were both the main.
That should have been something that brought them together.
They were like what they considered the rejects of the world, and Hitler wanted to gas and kill every one of them if you were Jewish or black.
Yes, because those are the imperfect people. They didn't fit into his blonde, blue-eyed world.
It's just amazing that you have the two cultures that were rejected to turn on each other as well. Instead of bonding or coming together and say, we know what each other went through, we'll never be like that towards each other, and yet they really don't get along with each other. I mean, you're right. How many black people and Jewish people you see together?
I can jack you up right now. I have a black uncle that is Jewish.
There you have it. This Sheree and them fruit baskets again. I'm telling you, y'all need to stop
Trust me, my family.
Stop giving her these fucking fruit baskets.
My family is a melting pot. We are everything that society says you should not be. We are.
Wow. So that's why. So that's why you're just all over the map.
Yes.
When it comes, it don't matter to you.
No, because
he can be dark like charcoal. He can be light like a ghost. If he's got a good heart, that's the one you're gonna be with the most.
Exactly. Well said.
Wow.
Well said.
It's like,
I was raised not to see color.
Well, I was raised the same way, and it worked out pretty good.
I would say. You seem to be a pretty cool cat.
Oh yes, but And then everybody we walk past on the streets that we work with, we know that they're not. Even if they have to behave themselves because of the laws, and you got people at your job that won't say it, but you gotta know that somebody's eyeing you out. Make sure you yourself when you walk in and they look at you and they're thinking, and they get mad at you. First thing they're thinking that stupid black woman. Or they're not gonna tell you
No,
that.
what they're thinking is that stupid black bitch got that promotion above me. What the hell is wrong with her? I'm smarter than she is. I look better than she is. Jealousy.
Can it get that hatred?
Yes, it can.
Have you ever known it to get like that?
Yes, I mean, I've dealt with prejudiceness ever since I was a little kid.
Uh huh.
So, yes.
So I saw this good stuff they gave us tonight.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, that's so good.
You and your.
Mm-hmm. So, you ever dealt with a problem on the opposite side of things like that? Have you ever had a problem? Someone confront you about issues of interracial?
Yes.
Did they just go up to you and say, Miss Walters, I don't like you because you black, basically, or
I was
do you think
told.
you're better than me because of this, or how about?
I was told, like when I was in college, I was told that the only reason I was allowed into college was because I was black. And I said, well, really, if that's the case, then how come I didn't get any government assistance to go to the school?
Wow,
Or
they didn't help you pay it, but
yeah,
So what? How'd they get you in it, right?
yeah,
Hmm.
because you can't be black and afford to go to a college because that's just unheard of. I've had people come up to me and go, "Oh, that's how much you pay for your hair?" And I'm like, "Why would I pay for it? It's mine." And the
Really?
girl had the nerve to say, "Oh, black women don't have long hair."
What?
And that's like, "Well, it's mine and we do, and you're ignorant."
Exactly.
So yes.
Wow.
Or, oh, the only reason you was hired was because they needed to fill their race quota.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, that's bold.
very well.
Did you not know that that was discrimination itself to say that?
Yeah, I don't think they cared.
Huh.
But like I told them, my work ethic speaks for itself. My race might have got me in the door, but it's not what kept me in the door. And if that was the case, why would I have been promoted numerous times? So they say whatever they want to say to make themselves feel better and sleep better at night. But I know better.
So why do you think there's so much prejudice and racism going on between the white black sector? What is the problem? What is fueling that? Why does it stay that way?
It's the way that people are raised. Because if you look, babies when they're born, they play with each other. They don't know anything about color. But then as they get older and they're around their families, kids go by what they hear and see. Like you and I both said that we were raised in a household to know no color. But think about there's some little kids that go home and they're not. White is right, black is wrong.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, let's dig deeper. This is what tonight's show is: interracial digging a little deeper. What is the main reason that's behind? I mean, to say, well, because your skin is black, it's got to be something deeper than just the way their appearance is. What is fueling the hatred that a white man can dislike a black person just simply for the color of his skin or the color of her skin, or vice versa? We know that there's black folks who feel the same way about white folks. They just totally blah 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 about it, and it just makes them sick and nauseous. But what is the underlying factor in the whole? What is the whole regional cause of this? We know what the effects are. People are conniption.
The cause is ignorance.
But what is it fueled on?
It's fueled
What is
on
your opinion on
it's
that?
fueled on past history
Uh-huh.
until people can deal with because okay, America don't want to talk about slavery. They want to sweep that under a rug like it never existed. You have all these movies about the Holocaust and everything and they show all of that, but you know, you saw how hard it was for people to watch Roots. Come
Mhm.
on now, they don't want to admit that they were slave owners. And that's where it all, if you can't admit to what happened in the past, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
And black people are not going to go back to that.
Yeah.
And the black people have a hard time because they remember their ancestors and what they had to deal with dealing with all of that. Because think about it, during slavery times, yes, the master slept with the slaves, and then when those slaves got pregnant, they gave those children away. They separated those families. So yeah, I can understand why it's a sore subject for black people and why they don't. They think everybody should stick to their kind.
But it's impossible, isn't it?
Well, this day and age, it is impossible.
I mean, that's like trying to tell a weedy dog not to have sex with the cockatiel.
The more you tell people what they can't do, they're going to run and do it. Okay, you say, gays are not allowed to be married. Well, then guess what? You're going to have an uprising because that's what the gays want to do. They want to get married.
Well, yeah.
So you tell somebody what they can't, you tell somebody you cannot be in a relationship, an interracial relationship with somebody. Guess what they're going to want to do?
They're going to see what you're talking about.
Exactly, because they're going to be like, well, since we're not supposed to do it, there's got to be something good about it. God told Adam and Eve not to eat from that tree, but what did she do?
Exactly.
So
curiosity always kills the cat.
Especially when you put "don't do this" in front of anything, that person is always gonna. Because I'm even guilty of it.
It's always don't touch it, and then people say, "What is this touch?" Don't tap on the glass at the aquarium. And what are they doing?
They tap on the glass.
Why is it subliminally people do the opposite of everything?
Because nobody likes to be told what to do.
So somebody should say, "Please tap on glass."
Yes.
And they won't.
Yes. Because I have to admit, I'm one of those people, I hate being told what to do. So as soon as I hear somebody say, I forbid you to do this or you're not going to do that, I'm going to do it just because to prove to you that I can do it.
Right.
Yes, it's immature, but you know what? I just can't help it.
Hey, at least you're honest.
That's me, honest.
So, wow. So, do you think that this problem is going to get better?
I think in time, I think with each generation that passes, it gets a little easier. But there's always going to be people that are against it.
Yeah. And what would you say to the new generation? The new generation X is really getting carried away. That's the same kind. Um, that's the same kind of problem that's been going on for a while. But how do you think it's going to get better?
Well, if you just look around, the kids of today, they are more. How can I say? They're more interracial, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see just white kids hanging out together or just black kids hanging out together. You see a mixture.
Right.
So I think that the generation coming up, and so like I said, I think every generation coming is making it easier, especially now that the white people are no longer the majority.
Exactly. So things are getting better. Things are changing. Don't you think?
Changes are coming.
So what? Obviously, things are. Do you feel like things are better than they were growing up in our days, or things are worse?
It's hard for me to answer that because I don't have any kids, so I don't know if it's better or worse. But being a child of the 70s, I would say for a teenage for a teenager for a teenage black man or black man period, I think it's gotten worse.
Mm-hmm. And why do you feel that? And by the way, folks, we are celebrating because tonight is the 80th show. So we are eating little snacks, aren't we?
Yeah.
And little goodies. Y'all might hear us chopping away a little bit here. Just letting y'all know what's going on. We're partying.
And the reason I say that is because, okay, you got Trayvon Martin, and then you have
the white guy shot the black kids that were listening to the stereo too loud at the store in Florida.
Yes. Then you had that girl that knocked on that man's door because her car broke down and she needed help, and he didn't ask her no questions. He just shot her through the door and killed her. Then you got that other guy that was knocking on the doors trying to get help because he was in a car accident and he got shot too. Then you got police officers shooting unarmed black men, you know? So I don't. There's just some things I don't see getting better. I see it getting worse.
Right.
I think, because, okay, I see people, even with me, I could go into a store, they'll follow me around the store. Really? Do I not look like I could? If I couldn't afford to buy anything, I wouldn't be in this store. Then you see, there's the little old lady that clutches her purse real close when she sees a black person come next to her, or the white people that cross the street when they see some black people. So some things is getting better, but some things is worse.
Wow.
Especially when you have a shoot first kind of mentality.
But crime comes in all colors.
Yes, it does.
Does white people not realize that it could be the white man that robbed her?
But why
does it have to be the black person?
Those aren't the ones that's making news.
Those ones that are not reporting.
If you based black people on what you see in the news media, why would anybody want to talk to a black person? They never talk about when somebody does good. I've only saw 2 news shows that reported on that black teenager that got accepted into every Ivy League college there was. Right. But they didn't make that front page news. That came on later in the show. They didn't start off the show with that. They don't start off anything positive. They're going to always go with the negative. And then how come always when you do have the news people there and there's a crime went down, they go to the ignorant black person?
What do you mean the ignorant?
They go to the one that's, got to be louder than everybody else to be heard.
Oh, you're talking about the one that made on the news. I'm sorry, this is funny, and
yes, the hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your man.
We have a rapist running around.
Yeah. Okay. I was sorry to hear it.
Wasn't it funny though, the way she was talking?
That was a dude.
Oh, I thought it was a woman.
No, that was a dude.
Was that hair like that?
That was a dude.
Okay, there you have it.
Okay. When I heard about the Fort Hood shooting, my heart went out to those people. But I have to say that when they interviewed the neighbor of the shooter's wife, she was calm. She spoke intelligently. She did a great job.
Yeah, but you know what threw everybody off?
What?
Everybody thought it was going to be a black man or a white man. It was a Hispanic.
Okay, what does
that mean? That means Hispanics are getting on the crazy side of the wagon now?
What's been throwing me off is the black people be doing stuff that at one point in time all we could say was, oh, they white because ain't no black person going to do that.
You know who set that tone?
What?
The DC snipers. That's when everything started coming out. When they realized it was black folks in the trunk popping them boogers out out there, guess what happened? It opened up a whole new realm, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, because then you
didn't hear nothing before those DC snipers. Remember, that was the biggest thing. Everybody swore up and down. It was white people.
Yes.
Nobody thought it was black. When they revealed on the news, they were almost scared to tell everybody it was a black person, 2 black guys, a father and a son. That's when everything started coming out about, all of a sudden, black folks are doing these crazy shit that normally black folks don't. They run in the other direction from these things. Like
in my office, they have the TV playing, but I can never hear. I don't ever see it. I hear it. And so when that guy that did the sniper at the Navy Yard, okay, imagine my surprise when I realized he was a black person. The lady that drove her kids into the ocean, imagine my surprise when I found out that was a black person. These are not things that black
folks don't go in the water to swim. Why was she driving in it?
These are things that black people normally don't do.
Would that be a nightmare if you had went to sleep and you woke up, you was in a dream, you opened your back pattern, and there was black folks sitting in the swimming pool?
No, we'll sit in the swimming pool.
Y'all get in the water?
Yeah, we get in the water.
Oh, wow.
Women just don't like to mess up their hair. Like I said, I go to the beach. I just don't want my hair to get wet.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought y'all don't swim.
We don't like to go in the pool because the chlorine jacks with our hair. And we don't really like to wear that little cap. I couldn't stand the cap.
Oh.
I'm like, first of all, how do I get all this hair up into that little cap?
That's true.
Yeah, and it was in ugly colors too, ugly designs. I just couldn't do that. I was like, you know what? I'll just go up to my waist. I'm good.
So this must be a culture shock for you to see that. Welcome into the rest of the crazies in the world. Black folks finally made it in there. That y'all are now part of the crazies because everybody said the white folks do it, and now I guess the Hispanics felt lonely. Now they had to support you. She was like, "I'm going to take it over. My name is Ivan Lopez."
Okay, first of all, I've never heard of a Hispanic person named Ivan. It sounds white to me.
Well,
but that
they say
Lopez,
he was from Puerto Rico.
He was from Puerto Rico.
And he was born and raised, so he's a Puerto Rican.
He is a Puerto Rican. I'm just saying.
Y'all got plenty Puerto Ricans in New York.
Yes, and none of them are named Ivan.
Well, there you have it.
But hey, I never knew one named Kenny either.
Ha! Right? So I guess you know one named Kenny, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Well, they're surprised everywhere, huh?
Yes, I was surprised because I knew when I heard them, like, oh my gosh, crazy white person again.
Oh, let's not forget about the postal shooter. He was black too. Remember, he went and shot up this whole post office.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
All that came out after the DC sniper shootings. So black folks have been progressively doing some really weird stuff.
It's because they didn't have Obamacare and they couldn't afford to get their medication.
Wow.
That's my story and I'm sticking with it.
The Obamacare hadn't kicked in yet, huh?
The Obamacare hadn't kicked in. They couldn't afford to get no medicine. You know.
So do you think that and this is what
oh, and don't forget about the chick that tried to get in the White House and everybody said it was because she had Obama's baby.
Oh, yeah.
She was black too. I didn't even think about
that. Yeah, the women are getting in there too. They just the men. That
just goes to show you that crazy knows no color.
Isn't that true? And no gender either, obviously.
No
female
gender.
or male.
Yeah, because...
And she was young.
Yeah.
To think of her doing it, her older sister was like, I didn't even believe that.
Well, because...
But she truly believed that Obama had her, that was her baby, her daddy was
Obama.
But
she had mental issues.
And but it really wasn't his child, huh?
No, it wasn't his kid.
But
she had mental issues. And I think more things are going to happen like that until this world decides what to do with people that are mentally ill. They like to treat the mentally ill like it's some little dirty little secret when these people aren't getting the help that they deserve.
They want to push them under the blanket.
Right.
Hush.
Or just self-medicate. They're not getting people to help. And then my thing is, if you want people to get well and you want to give them medicine, make the medicine affordable. Don't make it to where people that need the medicine can't afford the medicine.
And then they wait for a crime to happen.
Exactly. And then when it does happen,
they wonder why
they
went nuts.
Oh, well, they were mentally ill. Well, okay, they were under your care.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So maybe you want to do a story about mental illness.
When your crazy lover becomes mental ill. I can see that already.
Because, I mean, these are things that are affecting our society.
Absolutely.
And they're not doing anything to help the people that are mentally challenged, that has issues. They rather, like I said, act like it doesn't exist. Okay, because, I mean, case in point, the soldiers, all the ones that came back with post-traumatic stress disorder, are they getting help?
Obviously they're not if this is going on in Fort Hood.
Well, they're trying to say now that it wasn't his illness that made him do that. It was because it had an argument because he was denied. He was told to come back the next day to get a paperwork.
Okay, so that was just a decision. He knew what he was doing.
He was upset. He was upset. I'm not saying what he did was right, but I'm just saying that these things need to be looked at.
Right. Now, here's what I want to say, and I want you to tell me your best answer on this. Um, I feel with all the tension going on, taking consideration what's going on with the Trayvon Martin situation, and now the recent one with the two kids that were shot, you know, teenager with Melissa, obviously, and all the other stuff that hasn't come out yet or will, or stuff that we ain't even been revealed yet. The tensions and the pressures that are being put on Black America today. There's a breaking point on everything, Miss Sheree.
Yes, it is.
And I believe that after 300 years of suppression and oppression through slavery, and then even after slavery was abolished, racism and prejudice just transformed into a different form. No longer because they couldn't put chains on and work on the field, they just started treating with inequality. Well, we won't pay you as much. We'll pay the white man more, or we won't give you the shittier jobs. You won't get the great job. We'll still work you in the heat, not the air conditioning jobs. You know, they try to find every way to keep the black man or the black woman down.
You know, you want you want to be put on housing. Well, we're going to put you on housing in the worst neighborhood ever.
But all this oppression that they keep
we're going to create a project and put you in it.
With all this oppression and depression that they're causing on the Black America, this is what I see. I really think, and this is a scary concept, but I really think that if something really, really doesn't drastically get changed, either in the laws or some kind of balance that comes out for the Black America, they're going to rise up, and it's going to be a war here in this country. And when I say war, I'm not talking about...
It's going to be a race war.
Yes, it's going to be a race war between blacks and whites, and it's going to get a lot of the white folks like me in a predicament that we didn't ask for, because we're neutral, because we side with our black brothers and sisters. But in an all-out race war, they don't know. They're going to look at your color skin, they're going to mow you right down like everybody else. Now, the thing what I'm saying is, the safety of the good white people is definitely going to be in jeopardy. But the problem is, I see, and when I say war, I'm talking about guns, shootings, rapings, burning down business, kind of like what happened in the Rodney King trial, what happened to Katrina. When a disaster breaks out, all hell breaks loose. And imagine this going across not just one person's city, but going across many cities, that they rise up and has a special day, maybe Juneteenth or something, a special symbolic day, and all of Black America rises up because they got undercover, came together to set a special date, just like 9/11 happened, and all of a sudden everything started happening at one time. Can you imagine the chaos that this could happen? Could you see this really happening? How bad that this could happen? I feel like this could happen. I feel like that's what we're running towards, and I'm worried about it.
It could happen if a change doesn't occur.
So don't you think that you as a Black American, a Black woman, don't you feel that there needs to be something drafted up? Do you not feel the tightening of the ropes?
Yeah, there's definitely something in the atmosphere.
Can't say everybody's drinking bad water now.
No, but people can only take so much. And there is a breaking point.
And we know what happens when people lose a breaking point.
Yes, all rationale goes out the window. Nobody's thinking. Everybody's acting irrational.
They start shooting people.
And innocent people get hurt. And in case of proving a point about equality, you're just proving a point that, oh, this is another reason why we can't trust this race.
But that's what the white man wants to...
Right, they're playing into what they want, because that's what they want to prove.
We know that the last protest was the Million Man March, the biggest one. And they did it peacefully. I don't think the next one's going to be so peaceful, because peacefully it didn't work. They came with good, they came in good taste. Came to protest in good peace. And what did they do the whole time? They burned the buses, killed them, tried to get to the Million Man March. They tried to stop that from happening. You know that the Black American and the white folks that were marching probably with the black folks for the peace that Martin Luther King situated for that, the Million Man March, it didn't go as successful as they planned it. And it really didn't accomplish nothing. Because racism and prejudice is still alive today. It is just as bad as it is now as it was when they did the march, is it not?
Because people don't want to go to the table. They want to act like racism doesn't exist anymore, and that's not true.
They want to put you on the carpet.
Yes, but you're digressing from your topic.
So, what do you think we need to do?
There's
What hope can you instill in people tonight that, as Black Americans, what do you give advice to your already suppressed, oppressed people that are looking for some kind of de-stressing here so they don't blow their tops?
okay. There's nothing that I can tell them. There's no hope I can give them because if it doesn't start within the government, it's not gonna matter. It starts in the government. It starts with the judges. You know,
It's the government's fault while we're here.
you could have a white person and a black person going to jail for the same crime. They found either the same amount of drugs or they both were drunk driving. The black person will get a stiffer sentence, stiffer penalty every time.
Every time.
So it doesn't. There's nothing we can do about it. The government needs to change. The judges need to change. The
But
laws need to change.
that's why it says in the Constitution, obviously, we the people. And this comes
Oh.
right out of New York.
Yes, we are the people.
New York is like the
Okay,
most historical place in the world.
Listen to me. We are the people. We voted these people in, and just because we voted them in does not mean they're going to do what we say. They can make promises to us all day and night. If it does not fit their agenda, it is not going to change. And right now, you got some of these powerful people that like the fact that black people are in jail. They like the fact that black people are killing each other, so they're not going to change the agenda because it's working out for them.
Yes, and why is that? Why is that so much in our community? Not only is it, uh, we have so much interracial tensions going on between whites and blacks.
But it's not just whites and blacks.
Right? We have black on black.
You got black on black. You got black and Hispanic. You got white and Hispanic. You got Hispanic and Hispanic. I mean, it's numerous races
Fighting against each other.
fighting against each other.
Over power, equality.
Power, equality. Some just trying to make a better way.
Wow. So, in talking about interracial relationships,
This is why it's so hard for some people to have an interracial relationship because
of the stereotypes.
if you grew up in a family that say you grew up, and this is probably more prevalent in the black household, but you grew up in a black household, and you talking about oh how cute this white guy is and everything, and your family is that pro black, they ain't gonna want to hear that,
Right.
and they're gonna sit you down and tell you about everything that your ancestors had to go through. They're gonna tell you that you're spitting on their graves, that this is a betrayal of justice on your part. So you're not going to go and date outside your race.
And thus they're not ending the cycle, they're continuing it.
Right.
They feel like they're protecting what
They're trying to protect their heritage.
and protect what they fought and died for.
Exactly.
But at the same time, are they not seeing that they're causing more harm than good? Right? Is that what we're saying here?
Yep.
That we should refocus
But
how we talk to our children, how we raise our kids up about prejudice, about racism, about skin color. We have to start with when they're young. Kids learn from what they're told, not because
kids learn by watching how their parents interact.
aren't kids innocent when they're born. Every child,
Yes.
every child, regardless of race,
Yes.
they are without sin. The Bible tells us. It means they are without hate. They do not hate. You put a black baby in a nursery next to a white baby, he's not going to know the difference. He won't even see a difference in skin color, right?
It comes from the household. I'm sorry, you got your Aryan Nation brothers that do not want their little blue-eyed, white-haired kids in classes with black children. They don't want them interacting with black children, and they better not date a black child.
But this don't make no sense.
That's just how it is. They want to keep America white. So yes,
There's no such thing as a white America, though. Did
And
somebody not give them the memo?
in their mind, Hitler had it right. Everybody else got it wrong, and that's how it's supposed to be.
But America is the melting pot.
Yes, it
New
is.
York has seen all kinds. New York's got the most concentrated of foreigners per any national city.
Yes, but
New York has every kind you can imagine, don't they? Asians, Indians,
New
Middle
York, New
Easterns.
York is a melting pot. But
Exactly.
just think about how many of your good old boy Texas towns are not.
Yeah. And how many of them white, supposedly good old boys, don't realize that they go back to the bloodline? There is no pure white.
They don't want to hear that.
There's no pure white. There's no such thing as pure white. If you're white, you got other colors in you. It's a fact. Just like they'll tell you that even the blackest person is probably known to have some kind of white in their blood somewhere along the bloodline.
You go back far enough.
In other words, you might be like this, and then eventually, you see that?
Yep.
It's going to cross. It has to. Because it's almost impossible to live on the same planet with two individual color systems of people, and they don't have some kind of cross somewhere through evolution, somewhere through the bloodline. Something's got to pass. It's impossible for you to sit here and tell me that ain't true. I'm a science teacher, and I'm saying genetically and DNA and molecular structure of the body, it's impossible to be on this earth and not be mixed with other elements of the earth. There's no such thing as one solid thing. Like when someone says, hey, I just discovered gold, do people have to understand that, yes, that's gold and that's what we classify it as, but inside that, guess what's in there? Phosphorus, there's alloys, there's other metals that make up gold. Iron plays a big part of it. It's other composite materials that make it what people classify the main general character of it. It is gold or it is silver, but you got to look what's behind it. Silver is not just silver itself. Silver is an actual byproduct of magnesium and other carbonates. So for someone to sit there and say, I'm white, they better look back because they most likely probably have American Indian, Native American, or Asian. There's 7 continents, and there's 7. This is what I want people to understand today. There's 7 continents, Miss Sheree, and out of 7 continents, there's 7 main races. There's lots of races in the world. Don't you agree?
Yes.
But there's only 7. It's kind of like the color system. We know if you take red and blue and green, you can make every possible combination out of them. Yellow and green make what?
What does it make? I ain't the science teacher.
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started. Yellow and green
Make blue.
Red and blue make
Green.
purple.
Oh.
Okay, we better do. We're making ourselves look crazy on the air with this color system. It's supposed to be simple, Cheryl.
I've never ever done that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is,
I'm not the science teacher.
so let me just put it this way. Let me go back to what I was saying. There's 7 main. There's 7 continents and there's 7 main types of races. Okay, out of those 7, they have made over 10,000 different combinations of races on the planet today. These 10,000 are mixed with at least one or more of these 7. Your 7 is Anglo-Saxon or Caucasian. Your second one is Asian. Your third one is Middle Eastern. Your fourth one is Native American. Your 5th one is African. Your 6th one is Island Pacificer. And your 7th one is Celtic and Wales and British and stuff. It's a little bit separate from just Anglo-Saxon. That's because they part from the Viking days. Those are your 7 main ones. Out of those 7, your ass, there's no such thing as a white person or Caucasian. That came because of the brightness control the skin. You can sit here and open a box of crayons. Even Crayola figured this out. You can open a box of crayons and look at it and pull out all the dark colors that look like red, and we can look at it and say this is red. But would that not be prejudice if we didn't? Crayola would say that's not red, that's magenta. The one next to it says red, and you're looking at these fuckers and you're saying, "God damn, who the hell cares? They look red to me. I'm going to pull this and say red." But if it was a person, magenta would take that as a prejudice statement, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because magenta says, "I'm magenta. I'm not red." Red would say, "I'm not." That's almost like taking a Puerto Rican and saying he's a Mexican.
Yes.
Don't matter. They both speak Spanish. Don't matter if they brown and they look the same, and they are still two different cultures. We know this. Now, you being an African American or being of black descent, your race probably traces back somewhere in Africa, right? Would you want somebody to say, "Miss Sheree," unless you know for a fact that you are? Okay, I'm just assuming. Would you want somebody to say that you are Trinidad or Tobago?
Nope, because that's not where I come from.
Okay, but you know that you're black and they're black. They might just classify y'all as Jamaican or something. Just say, Jamaicans. Would that not offend you?
Yes, because that's not what I am.
So people need to understand something. For you to sit here and say that you are one color, it's impossible. Not in 2014. I'm sorry, the bloodlines are mixed. And here's what I have to hate. Here's what I hate to break to everybody tonight. You can be what you want to be. You can say what you are. But I can almost assure you that every black person in America and every white person in America has each other's DNA and color in it.
Shut your mouth.
It's the truth. I discovered this a long time ago in my own personal studies as a scientist and as a science teacher, and took some things together and I have put them to work together, and I've come to the conclusion that every black person has white in them and every white person has black in them. And the reason why there's so much interracial going on today is because it is human nature for white and black to draw together. It is a natural occurring effect. Just like you have the North Pole and the South Pole, opposite attract. They pull and gravitate towards each other. Put two North Poles together and they have no magnetic field. Put two South Poles together and they don't stick together. Put a North Pole together like this and what happens to you? They suck each other. It's natural, Miss Sheree, for other races to pull together, especially in the black and white sector. It's the strongest of the two. It's like day and night. You got your sun and you got your moon. What you think about that?
Wow.
Does it make any sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Technically, there really should be no more prejudice or more racism. If people understood the real concept, it would have to cease almost immediately.
But it's naive of you to think that the world is ready for that, because it's not.
In a perfect world, yes.
And we will never be able to see a perfect world.
It will take a lot of education and a lot of explaining for people to realize.
And it will happen long after we are dead.
I know that, and I'm just saying to my listeners out there that if you are having problems with interracial relationships or you feel like that's not for you, stop and think about it. Just because you look in the mirror and your ass is black like a bag of charcoal don't mean that you have no ties to white folks. Somewhere along the line, if it wasn't through slavery and your great ancestors were out there having a little fling on the side with the master, or whether it was consented or not consented, we know that a lot of that happened. We know that two black couples have had in history have put out the whitest babies when they had their babies. It jumped. DNA will pop out when it wants to. We know that two white couples have produced solid charcoal black babies. And the DNA matched the parents when they had got a second guess because the mom was like, "Wow, look what I just put out."
And the daddy was like, "That ain't mine."
The first thing the dad want to say, "Yeah, you creeping, who was you with?" You know? Was you with my buddy Darnell? You know? So we need to realize that things have to change. And interracial relationships is something precious and something valuable that we need to, as Americans, support, and not let don't let things start going reverse. It's been a long fight. It's of course we know the war is far from being over, and it's going to take a lot of effort from black folks and white folks to gravitate and pull together and stay strong in time when you have other people coming against over such trivial things. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Miss Sheree, what would you? We're getting close to having to wrap this up. What would you want to tell our listeners that are either already in interracial relationships and they're having some tough times? Maybe they're going through some. Maybe they got some problem with their families not liking it, and they're having they're together, but his family may not be liking her, and they don't want, and so they don't do holiday functions together because there's animosity there, or maybe they're fixing to get together and they want to get together, but they're afraid of what other people have been told or how they were raised. I mean, what can you tell them tonight uh, to to ease their problem? Somebody tonight listening is probably thinking, well, I'm involved in a interracial relationship, or I love this guy, I love this woman, but we're getting a lot of feedback, negative feedback, either from family, from friends, from society. What would you tell these people? Uh, how would you help them handle the situation? Because I know we're going to get some people writing about that.
I had a family member that was in interracial relationship.
Still all night.
Yes, a very long night. Interracial relationship with a white guy, and she called off their relationship because his parents would not accept her. His brothers and sisters accepted her, but his father told him that if you marry this woman, we will disown you. And so the woman, being the family oriented woman that she was, did not want him to lose his family because of her. So she broke off the relationship. She stopped dating him because she didn't want him to lose his family. He didn't want to break up with her. He was willing to accept whatever happened with his family. You know, flash forward a couple years, his father dies, and his mother calls her and to apologize how they treated her, and she said that her husband was wrong, but she had to side with him because he was the head of the family, and that her son has not been happy since the relationship, and she wanted to let her know that if she still wanted to date him, that the family would accept her. Okay, my relative's response was, "I'm sorry for your loss, but it's a little too late. This should have happened years before." She says, "I'm different. I'm pretty sure he's different, but I cannot, I would have liked this acceptance before." And my relative said that that was the hardest thing she has ever had to do, because she was very much in love with that guy and she really believed that he was the one, but she did not want that on her conscience for him not to be with his family.
So, do you think she did right, or do you think she should have took the chance and went through it?
No, because if it was me, I wouldn't have done what she did. If he was fine being disowned by his family and he still wanted the relationship to work out, he still wanted the relationship even though they threatened to disown him, then I would have stood by him and stood by the relationship, because
Stand
one,
by your
you're so
man.
crazy. One, you cannot please everybody. And the minute you let everybody decide on your relationship is the minute that relationship no longer is between the two of you. So if you are in a relationship and your family is giving you grief about it and they're threatening to disown you, then you have to ask yourself, can this relationship stand up under that kind of threat, that kind of pressure? Can I still know that when it's the holidays, I will not have my family around because they don't support this relationship? That is what you have to decide, what you can live with. and you have to decide how much you want to be in a relationship with that person, because it's all going to come down to you, and it's your decision on, am I going to let my family dictate to me who makes me happy, or am I going to live my own life? Because everybody knows what Miss Sheree would do.
Really?
You don't know what I would do?
You would probably stay with the guy.
Yeah, I would stay with the
You look
guy.
like you're hard headed, and you're not gonna let. You
am
got that
hard-headed.
type. It's almost like a Jerry Springer show. Oh no, this is Jerry Springer. This is you're gonna marry me or my family.
Exactly.
Who are you gonna pick today? And you are not the family.
Because it's my life. It's my decision. And then another thing they got to think.
Do you think they would come around if they would have went through it? You think eventually that they would have changed their mind? Of course, it's easy to say that at the time or something like that. But if he would have married her, and she would have married him, and do you think eventually his side of the family would have came around? Maybe even in 2 years. Maybe have children.
His siblings already had accepted her, but no, I do not think his father would have come around, and I don't know if they would have accepted their children.
So they were just precious bastards.
But the mother, it's not that they. Okay, this is an old school Irish family.
Ooh.
So dad is head of household. What dad says goes.
Old potato redheads.
Yes.
Oof.
And so
they usually have really stern attitudes too.
Yes. So I don't think that there was any bending in the father's will. And that's another thing.
She should have came and told she was black Irish. That would have held that.
Yeah, they'd have loved that. But another thing that if you are in a relationship, you got to think about that, and your family's putting pressure on you not to get out of the relationship. You have to think, what if I brought children into this relationship?
Yeah.
How would my family react? Are my family still going to disown my children? Their grandchildren?
It's very important to have family support, because you're not going to get society support very much.
No, because
so you will be on your own. It's like an island.
Yes, and that's what makes it so hard. Mm-hmm. But me, I think love conquers all. And my thing is, either you with me or you against me. But if you against me, that's your loss. That's on you.
Right.
But and also because I'm a Christian, but I'm not that Christian that's there yet. I'm still a work in progress. My thing is, if you disowned me, and me and this person got married and we have kids, and in 10, 15 years down the line you had a change of heart, whether because you dying or something, I'm not that person that's going to forgive you.
Wow.
Because you casted me out of your life. And now because of some life-changing event, or you finally just had a change of heart, I'm not that person that you can come knock on the door and say, here I am. Because here I am. Because those are all the years wasted and lost. My kids don't know you. My husband doesn't know you. No, I'm not that person. And then what if that relationship doesn't work out? And then those same people that disowned you came back and said, I told you so? Oh, no.
Nothing like rubbing your face in a little mudslide.
Because, again, y'all still wouldn't see me. Because, instead of being supportive of me, whether you agree with my situation or not, you chose the easy route to leave me and disown me. And now that it's not working out, I'm going to welcome you back into the fold. You know what? Kiss my ass. I did it without you all these years, and guess what? I'll do it without you.
Wow.
That's just the type of person that I am. I'm not saying it's right.
I know it's wrong. Sheree attitude up there.
But I told y'all I'm a work in progress. I know my attitude is wrong. But at the same time, you can't call yourself my family and don't have my back.
That is so true.
Because whether a family, whether they support you or not, whether they agree with your situation or not, they're supposed to be in your corner. That is what family is.
Supposed to support your decision if they don't agree with it.
Even if they don't agree with it. And then when it blows up, they're supposed to have your back. Even if they said, I told you so, they're still supposed to have your back. True. That is what family is. That is what family is about.
That's love.
That is love. That is unconditional love. Exactly.
Woo-wee! Let's have church. Oh, yeah.
So yes, I do. I take that whole disowning thing
Unconditional love, yeah. Can I hear an amen?
very seriously.
Yeah.
Don't cast me out. And then when things change or you have a change of heart, you're gonna bring me back in the fold. I am not that one.
Kick that devil's ass to the curb, y'all heard. Sorry, Daddy, it had to be you.
Because that's up there with an ultimatum. You either gonna choose him or you gonna choose your family. Well,
what a spot to be in.
You give me an ultimatum, I'm gonna choose the exact opposite of what you want me to choose because you gave me an ultimatum. Why can't you just say, I don't agree with the decision that you're making, but we're family. I love you and I support you, and I'll be here for you no matter what. Yeah. That is what they want to hear.
Oof. Wow.
And I would like to think that if I had kids, that I would be that way. That is how my family was to me and is to me still to this day. And I would like to think that that is how I would be to them.
Yeah. There you have it. Ms. Sheree, hold on to some more thoughts because I know you're going to have something else to say after the show tonight.
No, I'm going to get off my soapbox.
Oh, no. It's very interesting stuff you're saying. And it's probably something somebody needs to hear. But, folks, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and close this show out because we've got to come back here in 15 minutes. And we'll be right here live with Miss Sheree Walters. She'll be here for the Crazy Chris after the show. So don't turn your players off. Keep it tuned right here. And the lights go down, and we're going to really, she's going to let her hair hang down, and we're really going to have something to talk about. It's a short show, but it's a powerful show. So don't want to miss Crazy Chris after the show with Miss Sheree Walters tonight. Still celebrate our 80th episode tonight on Friday, April the 11th, 2014. Woo! So right now we're going to go ahead and get to that first song coming out of the box. It is from Miss Sheree to Sister Tim. So Lovey Poo Tim. And then I got 4 songs after that. So about 15 minutes worth of music total. Her song coming out of the back, and then my songs coming out back from my special someone. And then we'll be back right here live, won't we, Miss Sheree?
Yes, we will.
They're going to give you just enough time to go take care of that pee-pee break, huh?
Yep, because I'm doing a little tap dance right now.
Woo-wee! So there you have it, folks. That's it. It's been a great night with the Crazy Chris Talk Show. We'll see you here in about 15 more minutes. So don't go nowhere. Enjoy the music, and we'll see you right here in a few more minutes with the Crazy Chris after show right here at KGTR FM 91.9 and the studios. So we got it going. Woohoo! Miss Sheree, thank you for coming to the Crazy Chris after show and celebrate our 80th episode.
Always great to be here.
And I know you're getting that much closer to your fruit basket tonight.
Yes, my mouth is watering.
Woo-wee. Well, there you have it, folks. So we'll see you right here coming up right now. Dedications, and then we'll see you right here on Crazy Chris after the show. So we'll see you here in a few minutes. Don't go nowhere. Keep it here. Woo! Woo! Holla!